Invictus by Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I am not winced nor cried aloud. Under the burgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, or how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Invictus undoubtedly is one of the most inspiring poems that I've ever read. This is one such poem that you want to read over and over again to yourself. I feel almost everyone goes through difficult times in their lives and everyone has their own way of dealing through it. I won't say this poem is absolutely relatable or anything. Not at least to me. I wince at the paper cuts. I've cried at smallest and the silliest of things, such as not getting good grades in exams. And trust me, it is so funny when you look back at it. But I'm also sure that you've all met, at some point in time in your lives, and it could be your parents, your teachers, your siblings, your friends, your spouse, or maybe even your house helps. Those people who've been really strong in their lives. These are the ones who are actually unconquerable, whose heads are actually unbowed in the direst of the circumstances, like the poet says. These are the mettlesome people, or as I like to call them, the Invictus. This poem somehow increases your admiration for those people. This poem makes you want to become, as at least as strong as they are. You can't be exactly as strong as them, but be at least try and be as strong as they are. And I believe if you repeat these two lines, those last two lines to yourselves daily, maybe those lines, I'm the master of my fate and I'm the captain of my soul, chances are that you actually might become one. Or if you repeat these lines, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul, you might actually attain an unconquerable soul someday. After reading this poem, I became a little curious as to what made Henley write such a masterpiece. So I googled about him. And as I read about him, I came to know that as a young man, Henley contracted tuberculosis of the bone. So this resulted in amputation of the lower part of one of his legs. Disease was cured for once, but then it flared up again when he was in his 20s. So now the doctors wanted to amputate his another leg, which was still intact there. Henley successfully fought to save the leg. And while enduring the 3-year hospitalization, he wrote Invictus. Invictus is a stirring charge to remember that we are not merely given over to our fates. While life can be really terrible or brutal, we cannot sit idle while waiting the storm to hit really hard at us. We have to be brave, really brave.